Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Brian Ardis. This is the Dr. Ardis Show, and I am thrilled to introduce you today to the one plant on earth that is known to literally prevent, reverse, and often cure venous conditions, blood vessels, veins, arteries, and the issues that come with them. Do you know anybody who has spider veins, varicose veins, discolored legs from the knee down, ankles, feet that are red or purple or dark? Those are all signs of venous insufficiency. Blood flows going down the legs, but it ain't coming back up. Anyway, I'm very excited to actually educate you on some of the research we put together about one of the most exciting things I've learned about in the last couple of years to help people with cardiovascular conditions, but particularly those that involve blood moving from the heart to your organs and back to the heart. And this is what that show is all about. So I'm ready to dive in. I hope you're excited about this. I hope you're doing well. And here we go. All right, I'm going to start screen sharing here, our presentation. I hope you're as excited as I am. If you know anybody who's suffering with high blood pressure, low blood pressure, blood clotting, if they've got issues with spider veins, varicose veins. All right, one plant known to cure all vein diseases, such as spider and varicose veins, by yours truly, Dr. Ardis. Scan the QR code to get on our email list so that you can be notified with any type of new production we're doing, documentaries, books, publications, presentations, speaking engagements, book signings, or even our next podcast. So you can be up to breast on what it is I'm investigating, what I'm researching, so that you know the truth of what's available in natural medicine. All right. Cleveland Clinic has defined venous disease, venous, venous disease, as such. It is a condition that affects the veins in your body. Veins are flexible, hollow tubes that are a part of the circulatory system that moves blood through your body. Veins bring oxygen poor blood back to the heart, which pumps your blood. Arteries are different. They carry oxygen rich blood away from your heart. Veins have flaps or valves inside that open when your muscles contract. This allows blood to move through your veins. When your muscles relax, those valves close, keeping blood flowing only in one direction in a vein. If venous disease damages the valves inside your veins, the valves may not close completely, and this lets blood leak backwards or flow in both directions. All right, so just so you're now acclimated, in case you don't have a clear definition of the difference between arteries and veins, they are not the same. Arteries go from the heart and deliver oxygenated blood to the rest of the body. And as you look at the image on the left for arteries, you will see it's just a tube where blood just flows in one direction. Now look at the blue vein and you will see the arrow of blood and the way it moves, but you'll see there's little check valves that only allow blood to go up, and then those valves will close to keep the blood there. Veins are designed to bring the blood that has had oxygen in it that now has been delivered to your muscles and all your other organs and cells. Veins are designed to carry blood that no longer has oxygen back to the heart to get more oxygen. Now, picture your legs, picture that vein on the image on the screen, the veins that go from your toes and feet up to your heart. If there's something wrong with those valves and they don't close completely, like you see in the top of the image of the vein, you see two valves. One is open at the bottom, the one is closed at the top. If there is any reason why that tube called a vein actually got bigger, that valve could not close and the blood goes backwards. This is what you're seeing when you have someone who has spider veins, varicose veins, or discolored red, purple, black, darkened areas of the skin in their feet or calves, particularly in diabetes and other issues. That's what causes the discoloration. Blood is pooling and staying down in that limb, and it's not coming back up because the veins either expanded too far, it's not strong enough to stay a tube tight, or there's something wrong with the valves themselves inside the veins. Arteries do not have veins. All right. Here's our Cleveland Clinic has now also defined what are the various types of venous diseases. So listen, if anybody you know or love has this conditions, any of these, you need to share this podcast with them, this presentation. Also, this entire PowerPoint presentation, every slide is also at the Patient's Resources tab on the drardisshow.com. It will be in a PDF form. You can just download it for free. And it's just the PowerPoint presentations with all the research highlighted and the recommendations in the research studies to cure this condition. All right, so types of venous diseases. Number one is blood clots. And I'm going to read these to you. This can happen in your legs, arms, veins of your internal organs, kidneys, spleen, intestines, liver, pelvic organs. It can happen in your brain. That's called a cerebral vein thrombosis. It can happen in your kidneys, a blood clot. That's called a renal kidney vein thrombosis. Thrombosis means clot. Or in your lungs. And that kind of blood clot's called a pulmonary embolism. And then you have what are called deep vein thrombosis, is another type of venous disease. And we're going to be discussing the one plant that cures all of these. Deep vein thrombosis, or DVT for short. This is a blood clot that occurs in a deep vein in your arms and in your legs. All right. These are not of themselves life-threatening, but if it dislodges and makes its way to your heart, it can cause a heart attack and you could die or have a stroke. The next one they list is superficial thrombophlebitis. It's a lot of words that you could not spell in a Scrabble game. This is a blood clot that develops in a vein close to the surface of your skin. These types of blood clots don't usually travel to your lungs unless they move from your superficial system into your deep vein system. Typically, however, they do cause pain. Here's the last of the list of venous diseases per the Cleveland Clinic, chronic venous insufficiency. You will see this abbreviated even in my presentation in some research studies as CVI, chronic vein insufficiency. This condition causes pooling of the blood, chronic leg swelling, increased pressure, increased pigmentation or discoloration of your skin, and even leg ulcers known as venous stasis ulcers. And I'm going to show you what those look like in a second. Another type of venous disease, which most women in America are not happy about and sometimes get while they're pregnant or as they get older or gain weight, varicose and spider veins. These are abnormal, dilated blood vessels that happen because of weakening in your blood vessel wall. I talked about that earlier when I was showing you the veins. If it expands and gets bigger, those valves can't close. Venous ulcers. Ulcers are wounds or open sores that won't heal or keep returning. Venous stasis ulcers most commonly occur below your knee or in the inner part of your leg, just above your ankle. Arteriovenous fistulas. These are arteries and veins that connect to each other directly with nothing in between, and this is very abnormal. Well, that is a congenital deformity, something that developed in the womb most likely. All right, so those are your various types. All right, now, if you don't think this applies to you, this discussion, look at this stat. Cleveland Clinic says, how common is venous disease? Venous disease affects more than 30 million people in the United States. Just so you know, that's 1 out of every 10 people in America. I'm sure you know somebody that has one of these. All right, next statement. Researchers predict even more people will have it in the future. All right, well, if you don't know anybody that has it now, and they do in the future, you need to make sure they know about what I'm teaching right now. And did you know that roughly 33% of all adults in America have varicose veins? That's 1 in every 3 need to watch this podcast and learn what this mysterious, amazing, miraculous plant is. What are some symptoms people have when they have a venous disease? Cleveland Clinic says pain, cramping, or discomfort, redness or warmth at the skin, heaviness, itching or burning feeling, swelling, and then obviously bulging veins like in spider and varicose veins. I'm going to show you what some of those look like. You ready? Here are the various stages, they call it, of chronic venous disease. Stage 1, spider veins. Stage 2, varicose veins. Stage 3, swelling of the whole lower limb. Stage 4, the skin color changes. And then change 5 or 6, venous ulcers. And you can see the wound down there. Many diabetics and those overweight will often have those because the blood is pooling, and unoxygenated blood, when it's stagnant, can become toxic to the skin. And guess what your body's going to do? It has to get it out. It will open a wound, and it will continually seep until you fix this problem. What are some other images that you're probably familiar with venous diseases? What does it look like? It looks like that. It also looks like this. It also looks like this. Massive discoloration from the calf down. It also can look like this. Slight red pigmentation from the calf or the knee all the way down to the feet, with swollen feet and toes. It can also look like this. You'll see the open ulcers there. There's two images there. You'll see the spider veins and the varicose veins. The plant we're going to talk about today is called butcher's broom, a shrub with some amazing, surprising benefits, says Healthline magazine. And I showed you a picture of what butcher's broom, the plant, looks like. It looks like a beautiful Christmas plant with bright red berries. All right. On Healthline magazine, they have a section I want to highlight, and then I'm going to dive into some research studies for you here in a second. This is just top level summaries from a very reputable medical online journal. Butcher's broom may treat poor blood circulation. And that's what we're talking about today. Read the red highlighted sentences with me. Several compounds in butcher's broom help veins contract, shrinking that tube, allowing blood to return to the heart. Remember, I was describing it to you. When that tube closes, the valves can now shut completely and the blood cannot go pool down with gravity down to your feet or in your hands. In fact, research indicates that butcher's broom significantly reduces tension and swelling around the lower legs and ankles in adults with chronic venous insufficiency. I mentioned earlier, you will see the abbreviation CVI. If you guys know anybody that have these symptoms on the screen, these images, butcher's broom has been shown. Look at the swelling on the legs on the left. Most people with venous insufficiency will have swollen toes, ankles, feet. You don't even see their ankles. You've heard the term cankles. They just start to swell and balloon up. I just want you to know, I'm going to show you research today that's going to blow your mind on how effective butcher's broom is at reversing that edema and swelling in the lower legs. And who wants swelling in their lower legs? An analysis of 20 studies found that a supplement that contained butcher's broom significantly reduced pain, cramps, and swelling in adults with chronic venous insufficiency. Swelling in adults was reversed. You see that in the statement? Significant reduction in pain also. I just want you guys to be aware, it's mentioning it's in a supplement. 20 different studies have confirmed it's effective. Butcher's broom is already in my supplement at the Dr. Ardis Show. It's actually called Cardio Flow. And it's actually one of the highest percentages of weight volume in that product. It's called Cardio Flow for a reason, people. We developed that during COVID-19 with the vaccine injuries, with the COVID side effects on the blood clotting, heart attacks, strokes, you name it. When I formulated that product, it had to have this ingredient in it because I could not wait to watch you have the blessings and the benefits of this incredible plant. And by the time I'm done here in a few minutes, you're going to see it's pretty powerful.